Hello, my name is Maluka and I am a humpback whale. I have a partner Sonia and a son Nino. We have no last name. Although we have our own names, we do not give names to other creatures. It's more a human need and really not our thing. If we want to describe a creature, we simply send a mental image. Yes, it's a little lazy, but it's how we mainly communicate with each other. It's that time of year again for us to make a journey. Of course, we don't measure time in the same way humans do. We use the phases of the moon to determine the passing of time. Although we'd rather stay in the pristine waters of the Antarctic, it is essential for us to move to warmer waters so as our pregnant mums can bear their young. In the same way a tribal elder is looked towards for guidance in an Aboriginal tribe, so too do we as humpback whales look to our elders for guidance up along the coastline of Australia. Ah yes, see, we do know some names of your places. In the same way we communicate with each other using our mind. We listen to what humans are thinking about and how they are feeling while having their thoughts. Although not all of us can do this, for it is a learned skill, quite a few of us humpback whales can understand human thought and emotion. There was a time in the past when all the waters of our home were pristine and quite free of unnatural pollutants. This sadly is no longer the case. This creates a hazard for us as we use sonar to find our way around, and we use sensors and our whole outside of our body to detect the reflected sonar, and we get the sense that there is an obstacle there to avoid. Our vision is fairly good and we do see colour, so we can see obstacles as we come closer to them. Our senses over time become contaminated with pollutants, and although we know this, and we still let those who would be our elders guide us to where our mums would bear their young. When it comes to mating, and once mated we tend to keep our partners, we show off to attract our potential mates, in much the same way as a bird would show off, so it's more a game of fun to attract a female. There's no real fighting for a female. So as we make our way up the coast, we stay inside the Australian waters. We like to be in visual contact with the humans. We can defend ourselves. However, instead we sacrifice our lives in the hope that one day soon the humans and the people of the sea can live in harmony, free from slaughter and pollution being dumped into our home. Even so, staying inside Australian waters does have its drawbacks. The pollutants and the chemicals that come down the river system bring disease that make us sick, the contaminants that can blind our senses. And so it is a tragedy when an elder leads a pod of whales up onto a beach. Through either disease, chemical pollutants or deep sea mining, we can end up beaching ourselves to die. Our only home is slowly being polluted. There are great masses of floating plastic and other rubbish that has been dumped in our home. There are people in different countries of the planet who treat the ocean, our home, like a dumping ground, not only for rubbish but also for toxic waste. Radiation is leaking from where the French did their underground testing, and fish are becoming contaminated with radiation. Most of us make it to the warmer waters where our young are born. We do this in warmer waters to allow our young to put on weight and to acclimatise to the cooler waters. When our young have put on enough weight, we again begin our journey south to our pristine waters of the Antarctic. On the journey down the coast we will often dive down deep to the cooler depths of the ocean to cool down, for it is quite warm for us at the surface. During our return trip down the coast, our son Nino saw some humans closer into the beach and wanted to have some fun. And so, to get their attention, Nino breached and was twisting at the same time, only to come crashing down into a shark neck. There was great distress for us. We sent out a message of distress for help. Our human friend heard calls of distress and advised me to tell Nino to relax and remain still as possible so as to allow our human friends to release Nino from the netting. It was a great concern for us to see our only son caught in a net with no possible way out. It was great joy for us to see the quick response our human friends gave to free Nino from the netting. Nino was freed and is okay, and so to our human friends. You have our greatest thanks. Nino is a child to us, and although he is large in comparison to an adult human, he is very young. To give you an idea of our natural lifespan, we currently have an elder living amongst us who is 89 years of age. Please help us. Please save our home. Our home is being polluted by dumping of rubbish and toxic waste. Please save the creatures of the ocean. We need you to help us to save our home. Your friend from the ocean, Maluka.